Okay, let's start. Let's continue with the question. We have solved the question number 5 till here. Now we're going to start with the question number 26. In the question number 26, which statement about the general property of a metals are correct? We have to check the general properties of a metals. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. This one is a correct one. Okay. Then they have a low melting point. This one is a wrong. The metals have the high melting point. Okay. Now the next thing, they they reacts with the dilute acid to form a salt and water. They reacts with the dilute acid to form a salt and water. They acts as the or they reacts with oxygen to form a basic oxide. I have stopped on the 3 and 4. Okay. Not all the metals reacts with dilute acid to form a salt and water. The question arises here: do all the metal reacts with the acids and to form a salts and water, or not? Okay, so is the all metals reacts with the salt and water? No, all metals do not react with the salt and water, na? Which makes the all metals do not react with the acid to form a salt and water. So the four they reacts with oxygen to form a basic oxide. This one is the correct one. So the correct answer is 1 and 4 here. Now, question number 27. Reaction of three metals are and their oxides are shown. We have a three metals and their oxide. Metal 1, metal 1, 2 and 3. Add dilute hydrochloric acid to the metal. The 1 and 2 reacts. Third don't react. Heat metal oxide with the carbon. The 1 and the 3 reacts but the 2 do not. So if the two do not heat react with the carbon monoxide with the carbon, that means this one is the most reactive. The two is the most reactive here. Why? Because the carbon that will be the above the carbon, not below the carbon. If the metals are below the carbon in the reactivity series, so the carbon will reduce those metals oxide. And if the metals are above the carbon in the reactivity series, so they are reduced by the electrolysis process. So 2 is the most reactive metal, na? So 2 is the most reactive metal. Here is the two most reactive metal in the C and D. B, A and B is not our choice, so we have to work on C and D. Now, the next thing is we have to check between the reactivity between 1 and 3. The 3 is not reacting with the dilute hydrochloric acid, so the 3 will be the least one. So 3 is the least one here, and the 2 is the most, and 1 is in the middle. So C is the correct answer here. Any question here, students? Yes. Any question you want to ask? Now the next question. Three metals compounds J, K, and L. J, K, and L are reacted using a Bunsen burner. We are using what? Bunsen burner, and three metals compounds J, K, and L. Colorless gas produced which relighten a glowing splint. If the relighting a glowing splint, that means oxygen gas is produced here. Okay. A colorless gas is produced which turns the lime water milky. It means the carbon dioxide gas is produced, and this carbon dioxide gas is produced from the carbonate ion. No reaction here, so it means the no decomposition reaction is done for the L. There is no decomposition reaction with the L. So one is the carbonate. So for the carbonate, we have a magnesium carbonate and the potassium carbonates here. One second. Yes. So the carbonates K and L. K is a carbonate. So in the K you have to check the carbonate 1, 2 and 3. B is not our choice. We have to work on A, C and D. Then the next thing J, relighting the splint. So if the relighting the splint, that means the nitrate will produce a oxygen gas here now. So the nitrate, according to the nitrate, the A is not, there is a carbonate here for the J, so the A is not our choice. Now we have to work on C and D. Nitrate is present in the both and carbonate is present in the both for the K. Now for the L, the potassium carbonate and the magnesium carbonate. We have to work on these two. The potassium carbonate is a stable carbonate and the magnesium carbonate is not a stable carbonate. So C is the correct answer and D is not correct answer. For the IGCSE course from 2023, the carbonates are eliminated now. This we are solving the question paper of 2022. The question paper is May June 2022. So from the 2023, the carbonates are not included in the course, carbonates and the nitrates, their decomposition reaction. So that's why we have not studied this topic in our lectures now. Okay, so don't worry about it. Got it, bachcho? Now, just for your means the thing that the when the nitrates they are decomposed, they produce the oxygen gas. Carbonates, when they are produced, they produce a carbon dioxide gas. And for the group number one, carbonates, group number one, carbonates are stable carbonates and they do not uh, decompose. Na? Okay. Now the next question. Yes, the diagram shows the uses and the treatment and processes of muddy river water. Muddy river water. Okay. Now process number one, cleaning river water. Process number one, cleaning river water. Process number two, disinfected water. Use two and the use one. So there are the two use. Directly the use is Ahmed has already give the answer. Answer is D. Watering the crops. Muddy river water can be used in the watering the crops. Direct one use is the watering the crops. So the C and D is our choice. A and B is not our work. Now let's for the process number two. The process used for the two is the drinking, which is also present in the C and D. Then the now for the processes, process number one and the process number two. For the process number two, we have to filter the solid particles. The solid particles will be filtered here. Then they go for the chlorination for the disinfected water, means to remove the germs. Okay, or so D is the correct answer, which is already given by the Ahmed. Very good, Ahmed. Now, next question. Sorry, bete. Okay, now the next thing is the equation for the manufacture of ammonia. Equation for the manufacture of ammonia in the Haber process is shown here. Here is the equation for the reaction of ammonia in the Haber process. The forward reaction is the exothermic. The type of a forward reaction is what? Exothermic reaction. To keep the reaction in the forward direction, we have to start the reaction at the low energy, low temperature to keep the reaction in the forward direction. Why? Because the temperature is already generated by the reaction mixture. Now, which row describe the effect of the state change in the reaction rate and the yield of ammonia? Ahmed have give the answer D. Ahmed have give the answer D. Here have give the answer B. So you have give the answer B. Ahmed has also give the answer B. So to keep the reaction, acha, which row describe the effect of a state change on the reaction rate and the yield of the ammonia? Change. Decreasing the temperature, decreasing the effect on the reaction rate, and effect on the yield of ammonia is increases. So the answer B is the correct answer. Very good. Decreasing the temperature as a rate as a forward reaction is an isothermic reaction which will increase the amount of ammonia and effect on the reaction rate will be decreases. Why the reaction rate is decreases? It have to be increases. The reaction rate is depend on the increasing the temperature. Increasing the temperature is directly proportional to the rate of a reaction. So if we increase the temperature, the rate of reaction will be increases. So that's why if here we are decreasing the temperature. So for that purpose, the rate of a reaction effect on the reaction rate is decreases. Got it? Any question here? Now, next question. Question number 31. For the fertilizer, just keep in your mind N, K, P, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Three elements are very important for the fertilizers. Fertilizers are used to provide the three of the elements needed for the plant growth. The two compounds would give a fertilizer containing all three of these elements. I must have give the answer D here. In the D you have a potassium, nitrogen and the phosphorus. So D is the correct answer here. On in the C you have only potassium and the nitrogen, no phosphorus. So C is not correct answer. Here you have a nitrogen and phosphorus. So no potassium. So this one is not correct answer here. Then you have a nitrogen and no potassium and phosphorus here. So that's why A is not the correct answer here. These three elements must be present in the fertilizer for the growth of our plants. Now, the next question. The flow chart shows part of a process for the manufacturing of a sulfuric acid. We have a manufacturing of a sulfuric acid here and its electrolysis. Sulfuric acid and its electrolysis. Okay. Now, You have two gases here, gas 1 and the gas 2. Okay. Then you have a gas 3 is produced here. Then concentrated sulfuric acid. Then you have a dilute sulfuric acid here. Okay. Now for the gas number 1, the gas number 1 will be a sulfur dioxide. That will be a sulfur dioxide or the sulfur trioxide. The gas number 1 will be a sulfur dioxide, and the gas number 2 is oxygen gas here. One second. Gas number 2 is the oxygen gas. These two gases combine to form a sulfur trioxide, and the sulfur trioxide is converted into a concentrated sulfuric acid. Then the concentrated sulfuric acid is formed a dilute sulfuric acid. This concentrated sulfuric acid is known as a oleum, which is also considered as a one second H2S2O7 oleum. Okay, that oleum is converted into a dilute sulfuric acid. The dilute sulfuric acid will give off in the process of electrolysis oxygen gas. The oxygen gas is produced there and the hydrogen gas is produced. So the oxygen gas is recycled in the as a gas number 2 here. So we have to work on A and B. C and D is not our choice. Okay, bachcho. So the oxygen gas number 2 is the oxygen gas. So definitely the answer B is the correct answer here. Am I right? And A is not the correct answer. Now let's move forward. Question number 33. Which statement about the sulfur dioxide are correct? Sulfur dioxide decolorized. The sulfur dioxide decolorized decolorizes one second acidified potassium magnate. Okay. Sulfur dioxide decolorizes acidified potassium magnate. Sulfur dioxide forms when acid reacts with the carbonate. No. Sulfur dioxide gas is used in the bleach. No. Sulfur sulfur dioxide is used in the bleach. Sulfur dioxide is used to treat the acidic soil. This one is wrong. Sulfur dioxide can be used in the bleach. This one is the dis, uh, wo- discussable thing. Yes, sulfur dioxide gas is used in a bleach. It's a bleaching agent. So A is the correct answer here. Okay. Now the next one is now we're going to start after this the organic chemistry will be start. Just give me a 1 minute, bachcho. Yes, can you hear me? Sure. Please let me know. C is the correct answer. Ahmed is already have solved this question. Very good. C is the correct answer. Let's continue. What are the products when the limestone calcium carbonate are heated strongly? Calcium hydroxide is not formed here. A and B is not our choice. Carbon dioxide gas is formed. This one is the correct here. And the carbon monoxide is not formed here. So C is the correct answer here. Now the next question. The next question is for the esters, which we have studied a lot in detail. The first part of this formula, this formula, first part means the structure, first part is for the acidic part. This one is the acidic part, and you have a two carbon here. So the two carbon acid is known as ethanoic acid. The name of a carbon is ethanoic acid. So when in the ester, the name will be become a ethanoate. The name is ethanoate. Then the next part is this part is a alcohol part in the structure, and the name of this one is a alcohol part here. Okay, and the name of this alcohol is methanol, and the name for this one is methyl. Now the name of the ester is the methylethanoate. C and the D is the correct one here. A and B is not the correct answer. Then carboxylic acid, the word the ethanoic acid and the methanol. So C is the correct answer. Any question here, students? Now the next question is for the alcohol. Na? Ethanol is manufactured by in ethanol is made industrially by the fermentation of a glucose. The formula of glucose is C6H12 and the O6, and the catalyst is used as a yeast here by the or by the catalytic addition of a steam reaction to ethene. Now, for the steam reaction, the temperature is required high. Okay. Now, which statement describe a advantage of a fermentation compared to the catalytic reaction addition? Ethanol is only product form in the fermentation. No, we in the fermentation we have a two products here. One is the ethanol and the other one is carbon dioxide. Fermentation uses a batch process, but the catalytic addition is a continuous process. Batch process and the continuous process is not an advantage here. The batch process is a disadvantage of a fermentation. We have to check the fermentation advantage here, not the disadvantage. Fermentation uses a high temperature. This one is a wrong thing here. The temperature for the fermentation is 25 through to 35 degrees C, a little bit higher than the room temperature. Then fermentation uses a renewable resources. So D is the correct answer here. Okay. In the fermentation, we uses a renewable resources. Now the next question, question number 37. Some properties of colorless liquid. We have a colorless liquid here, and the some properties of a colorless liquid L are listed. It boils at 56 degrees C. If it boils at the 56 degrees C, then it is a liquid. Already they have mentioned that the colorless liquid. When added to water, two layers are formed. That means not soluble, insoluble in a water. Insoluble in water. The insoluble in water is a alcohol. So it can be a alkene or alkane. Carboxylic acids are also water soluble. It does not react with the sodium carbonate. So if not reacting with the sodium carbonates, that means no carboxylic acid. Then it has no effect on the bromine water. If it's no effect on the bromine water, that means no alkane. So From here, from this point, we have decided that the whether it will be a alkane or the alkene. So alkane is not here. Why? From this point. This point explains give the difference between the alkane and alkene. So the alkene will be present here. Now we have to check which one is the alkene here. C is the alkene because the name is the hexene. The prefix is hex, hex with the 6 carbon, ene as a suffix which is for the alkenes. So C is the correct answer here. A and B and D is not our choice. Now the next question, question number 38. A molecule of compound P contains 2 carbon atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms. 2 carbon atoms and the 4 hydrogen atom. Which row represent P? So the atomic mass, the molecular mass is 28 here. So we have to work on C and D. A and B is not our choice. Now we have to check whether it is a alkane or alkene. Ahmed has already give the answer. Very good. So to check the alkane and alkene, what we have to do, simply divide the number of a carbon atom with the whole formula. If you get the answer CH2, if you get the answer CH2, that means that it belongs to the alkene family. And if you are not getting the answer of CH2, then it's not belong to alkene family, it belongs to the alkane family. Okay, for example, let me give you another example here. You have a C4H8 and the C5H12. So the number of a carbon is 4. I told you divide the number of a carbon with the whole formula. Cancel out, you will get the answer CH2. CH2 means the alkene. Then you divide the number of a carbon atom means the 5 divided by this. You're not going to get the answer of CH2 here. So it means it belongs to the alkane. Now reacts with the bromine. The ethene reacts with the bromine. This one is cross, so not our choice. D is not our choice. C is the correct answer here. Okay. This whole calculation is given to you if this column is not given in the exam, means the reaction with the bromine. The reaction with the bromine is clear the all thing. If it reacts with the bromine, that means the alkene, and if it is not reacting with the bromine, that means it is not reacting with the alkene. That means the substances not belongs to the alkene family. Now the next question. We have a alcohol here of a 2 carbon, and this alcohol is known as ethanol, and the ethanol goes for the oxidation. The hydrogen, this hydrogen ion is not like that. This hydrogen will react. This hydrogen ion gives you the presence of acid. Okay. Now if you see here, the removal of hydrogen, here are the 2 hydrogen are removed here and one of the oxygen is added. So removal of hydrogen and addition of oxygen. The type of reaction is the oxidation reaction here. A, B, C is not our choice. Yes, students. Any question here? Now the last question, question number 14. Which polymer is synthetic polyamide? Synthetic means the man-made. Amine. Amine is a linkage, carbon and nitrogen linkage like this. This one is a amine linkage. Okay. The amine linkage is present in the nylon and protein both. B and D is not our choice, but for the synthetic product means the man-made product, protein is the natural one. So C is not correct. A is the correct answer here. Okay. Now, so we are done with the end of this paper. May June variant 21 year 22 is complete here. Now we're going to start with the May June 21 for sorry May June 41 year 22 means the structure question. Just give me a 1 minute. Let me upload the question paper here.